Hello again. A very pretty little piece of theatre is being played in Scotland for the benefit of the public. It was decided a while ago that Humza Yousaf, a Muslim of Pakistani and African ancestry, would lead the country after Nicola Sturgeon left. This would be good. First, because it meant another person of colour in a leading role in British politics, but also because he is the man who will continue along the most orthodox path when it comes to things like gender recognition and so on. It would not do, though, to make it look as though this had been planned all along. So two other candidates were urged to stand, both of whom would be sabotaged, leaving the road open for the man who was always going to get the job. Kate Forbes is a devout Christian, and this is to many progressive people next door to being a card-carrying member of the Nazi Party. She disapproves of sodomite unions or mixed marriages or whatever the things are called, and has admitted that she would not vote for such a measure. Quite right too. She is also opposed to abortion and the lodging of vicious rapists in a women's prison. She began as the bookie's favourite, but a little deft briefing against her by supporters of Yousaf has ensured that she's now out of the running. Let's face it, nobody likes Christians these days, especially not genuine and sincere ones who follow scriptural teaching. She's out of the cart. The other woman is called Ash Regan, and she doesn't really know why people encouraged her to stand for the leadership of the SNP, because now that she's declared she's in the running, all those people have promptly abandoned her. She's scared to give interviews to the press, and Twitter is full of the fact that all the newspapers and television stations are trying to speak to her, and she's avoiding giving interviews even over the telephone. She too is a no-hoper. Which means that, as was planned all along, the Muslim candidate will romp home to an easy victory, leading the field by a couple of furlongs, if I might be permitted the use of a sporting metaphor. Some of us might be left scratching our heads and wondering how come both our Prime Minister and leader of Scotland, as will soon be, are from families who have drifted from India and Pakistan to Africa and then, when prospects look better, fetched up in this country. The expression ruthless cosmopolitan springs unbidden to our minds, but that is perhaps another question. What is very curious is that though Withet and Liberal people cannot stomach Christians at any price, and it was her religion which brought about Kate Forbes' downfall, they're quite happy to see a practising Hindu in Downing Street or an observant Muslim leading Scotland. I hope this is not just because Christianity is the traditional religion of this country and must therefore be cast upon the scrap heap together with so many other British traditions, but I have an idea that that is precisely the reason. I seriously doubt that Humza Yousaf is any more in favour of homosexual marriages than Kate Forbes, but he at least is cunning enough to keep his mouth shut, at least until the election is in the bag.